Hello, so today I'm going to be talking about things that I've learned through shooting short films. The first thing is shooting a short film is mainly about perspective, so you should establish early on whose story are you telling, whose point of view are we going to see the story through, and that is going to help you with your decisions with where you put the camera. Because when you don't do this, there's just a lack of intention, and you kind of just revert back to covering scenes in very conventional ways that kind of doesn't challenge you, and it doesn't tell the story really. So I think just getting out that mindset and thinking about how to show the intention of the scene through where you put the camera. So we understand a certain character, and we should understand their perspective and why they feel this way, and kind of there should be a certain intention or an opinion, something that you're saying by putting the camera in a certain place. So yeah, that's definitely the first thing I'd do in prep. Yeah, so another thing I want to add is about keeping things at a distance. I've found that in my own short films that I shoot, I always tend to shoot things really close, and I think when you keep things at a distance at the right moments, there's a certain intention and a reason you're putting a distance between the character and a closeness with another character, for example. It doesn't have to be that specifically, but if there's a variation of how each character is shot, I think that way you have an intention and something you want to convey through the cinematography. Another tip is establishing a consistent style throughout the film, mainly done during pre-production. So this, in the past, I've kind of looked at scenes individually and not looked at the film as a whole, which is something I've learnt to do, and it's really important because the film is a whole piece and it's not just a collection of scenes. So having a consistent style or rule, something you set, or a way you want to shoot the film, and establishing that as early as possible is really good. Because in the past I've kind of gone from different techniques like handheld, tripod, and mixing these together. It kind of just makes the film feel like it's got too many different kind of approaches and visions, and it's not sticking to one vision, which makes it feel less concise, and it actually feels a bit distracting sometimes. You want the audience to not even think about the technical choices you make, and just be like immersed in the film. So by having a consistent sort of style throughout, you achieve that kind of immersiveness, and every scene kind of blends seamlessly to each other. So my final point would be to make sure you have enough coverage for a scene, especially if you think that you might be cutting in the edit, and if it's a conversation between two people, you want to have options, unless it's very kind of like established early on that you're not going to cut at all, then it's fine, as long as you have that intention. But it's always useful, because there's times where it would have saved me if I got a coverage angle of another character, but I didn't, because I thought of having the intention of doing it all in one take. But when you get to the edit and you see sort of errors in the background and stuff that is in frame that shouldn't be, and you're looking for somewhere to cut but you can't because you did it all in one take, it can be tricky. And also just really think about if it's intentional. If you want to do one take and only show one side, and not just do it because for the sake of it and because it's like you're trying to be different or something like that. So definitely getting other angles, and when it's an important scene or an emotional scene, is very important for the edit. So definitely think about getting coverage. Yeah, that's everything for today.